Right then, this is another vlog inside another vlog. So watch the old vlog to know what we're talking about. Scott's engine's in a million bits, getting the timing chains done. But I think Scott walked in and saw how many bits it were in and said, while he can see the turbo being removed, can we go against what I said in the timing chain video, which is where we didn't have his cars all tuned up to death. I wouldn't have to have all his cars tuned up to death. And can he put a bigger turbo on? So, we've took the standard, this is a GTD 2060 VZ, so 4th generation GTD. This is exactly the same, the engine's pretty much the same as the Amarok. So we've got our GTD 2872, this has got ball bearings in it and all the nice stuff, absolutely massive turbine wheel, which is ridiculous, and then a totally different vane pack system, which is not tons different to what's in these anyway, but it's a lot bigger. Lots of machining work goes into them to get them to fit. And this is a old stock turbo, that's why it's a little bit rough, a bit rusty. It's been sat on shelf a little bit. I don't know why, but it was. So that's what usually goes on our project cars. So this should do, at the minute it was 320, 310, 320 is what we normally see out of them. We're just to tune, pushing the standard turbo quite hard. Putting this on, we should be over 400, but we are going to probably be gearbox limited. So even though we're going to put a new clutch and flywheel in, might start slipping. So we'll see. Can't remember if have we done one this new with that DL501? I don't think we have. No. They've normally got the 8-speed gearbox in, even in the newer A5s, A6 and stuff that we tune. So yeah, at least in the workshop anyway, I'm sure we've sent parts out to people that have done it. But yeah, so we're breaking new ground here. So I think we'll get Paul to get this on. We're going to be sharing bits of stuff between videos, so Adam's going to absolutely editing this video, so you're welcome. Yeah, lots of work to do. This is a small part of this job, but it'll be a big part of this video. We're also going to have to change all the gaskets and seals and stuff. This is a full fitting kit, which, yeah, that'll all work. There's quite a few quid's worth of bits just there. And while we're there, the turbo pretty much needs to be removed, or at least the actuator, I think the actuator does, to get to the metering valve. So we'll put the big metering valve in. That'll mean we'll get the most fuel possible at the CP4 pump. The next step up's putting bigger pumps on and stuff, and we don't really want to or need to at this moment in time. We sort of, usually most projects, you get to the point where you think, right, we just start a fuel, put a big fuel pump on, and then you just start a turbo, or you just start an injector anyway. So put that in, that gives you a little bit more. And then because we're going to be turning the rail pressure up, we'll put a 2700 bar sensor in. Don't think we need to, but it's all drained anyway. We'll put that in and we'll see what happens. Maybe Scott will get the bug again for turning his road cars up to the maximum, want a pump and other stuff, but hopefully not, because we drive all over in that car. Anyway, yeah, see what happens. So we're near to the end. We've just finished the timing chain video, so watch that and I'll be stood in this exact same spot at the end of that one. Basically, everything's all back together. Tons of work's gone into that. We're on a bit of a time push now because somebody crashed into the back of Paul and we're meant to be using this in less than a week's time, probably 4 working days maybe that we've got to do, and there's jobs booked in on that. So we're going to get all back together, tuned, and ready to rock, because this is going to Belgium. So yeah, the turbo's on, the metering valve's on, which we spoke about before. Might as well have done that while it were all in bits. It'd be nice to do before and after, but we've done that previously. I'm sure we can dig out the previous videos of testing them and showing how much difference it makes. Inlet off job on these, and a lot of disassembling here, or the turbo off to do it, and it's Paul says it's still pretty difficult. So yeah, the only other thing left to go on this is the silicone inlet pipe, which we'll sort that out in a minute. Bleed it all up, get it all sorted. The rail pressure sensor's not in there at the minute, which we've made it a bit harder doing it when it's back in, but Paul wanted to start it up on the tune that's on there, rather than, we've done it in the past where while the car's in this many bits, we flash the ECU and you didn't know that you've bricked the ECU or done something weird, and then you're in that, is it the tune or is it the hardware issue? So we know it will fine before, start it up, it's running, all good to go. So yeah, whether we get it on the dyno before we take it to Belgium, I'm not sure. We just need it to be safe and running properly before we go. So yeah, see what happens next. So, this is, what are we, February now, 2nd of February is it? February now. What you saw just then were in June. The week after we saw that, we went straight to the race at Spa. So, we'll put some onboard clips of what that looks like when you can go as fast as you want without getting in trouble. But yeah, quite a few things have changed since then, and this is just how long it takes when you're busy to get our cars on the dyno. So if people think we're delaying their jobs because our car's getting done 6-8 months later with dyno and ours. But anyway, Scott's got a nice new interior. Adam will put some shots of that in while it's here, because you can actually see it in here. It's that dark inside. Carbon fibre, RS7 stuff. Bit annoying that it says RS7 on it, but look good. So yeah, it's all together. It's been running pretty good. I'm not sure how many miles it's done since, but it's a few thousand miles since it were all put back together. Not really any hiccups, but finally had a chance to get it on the dyno anyway. So you've seen the graph previously, 550 pounds-feet of torque, and then 321 horsepower. That's what we had before. Now we're a little bit lazy, so we've lost a little bit here, but you could mess about starting the dyno earlier and playing about. A lot of people's dyno, we get a lot of people saying this about our dyno, like torque's a little bit lower and stuff and coming on a bit slow. But if we set this to stabilise for 10 seconds, that torque could be above there way early. We just keep the same method all the time, and that's how we compare. And how we do it, I think, is most representative of like a fourth gear put on the road, fourth, fifth gear dependent gearbox. But anyway, so we've got probably 625 pounds-feet of torque, and then we've got 402 horsepower now, which this is a roughly 1.1 lambda, so could still go a bit more, and then you'd start seeing some visible smoke out there. And EGTs are just less than 900. Nearly at the end of the injectors, I'd say. We could probably stretch them a little bit more, but the EGTs are going up more than the power would be going up at this point. 2300 bar rail pressure, which is fine for this. Could push it a bit further. If we change the injectors to the next size up, I think we're going to probably be at 420s easily at the same EGTs and stuff like that, but we're just going to leave it as it is for now. So this is a nice, reasonably priced spec. Obviously, if you need a turbo already because of some issues, this is a decent spec to get because you're not doing anything twice as such. So yeah, hopefully the onboard showed how quick it is. Hopefully dyno shows how quick it could be. And hopefully this video's been interesting. But as usual with our projects, taking so long, painful. If you've got one of these, let us know. The 8-speed automatic is a better gearbox overall, I think. But this 7-speed seems alright. It seems to be holding for the moment. But it has had a clutch, flywheel, all that sort of stuff. You don't have them problems with the 8-speed as the mileage gets up. So, yeah. I think Scott really did want the bi-turbo, which would have the 8-speed and twin turbos, but then the turbo upgrades are more expensive. You've got a bit more torque, similar-ish power with just a map, maybe. But ultimately, this is a similar price to that, but with your own little mods on there. So anyway, there's no perfect way of doing it. Thank you.